Howdy y'all, you may remember that I started a video series a while ago documenting my journeys around Williamsburg, Virginia. Well, part 2 is finally here. Last time I left off in Jamestown, and what is there in Jamestown that will appeal to a transit enthusiast? The Jamestown-Scotland Ferry, of course. So welcome to WATA to the Water, part 2. The Jamestown-Scotland Ferry connects Jamestown, yes, the Jamestown, the one the English settled in 1607, with Scotland, Virginia, operating with approximately 15 to 20 minute travel times across the massive James River. Jamestown, on the north side of the river, is home to, well, the location of the Jamestown colony, as well as a living history site recreating many aspects of the original settlement. A little further up the road is the much larger Williamsburg, Virginia, home to more living history in its colonial downtown, the College of William and Mary, Busch Gardens, and a very pleasant Amtrak station, for which I have filmed a station review. Hopefully I'll get the footage edited eventually. On the south side of the river lies Scotland, and a little further down the road is the small town of Surrey. For what this ferry has in an amazing ride, it loses in the boarding process, at least for pedestrians. For cars, the boarding process is a breeze. It couldn't be easier. You simply drive down the ramp onto the ferry when it arrives. For pedestrians, well, I'll just let you watch. I think we're just gonna walk it and hope they let me on, and I hopefully can get up the bridge, up the pier before they start letting cars off the boat, because that is not wide enough for cars and a pedestrian to really safely pass each other. This feels somewhat illegal. I'm just in a traffic lane, and I'm really hoping they don't start deboarding cars before I can get up there. So I made it about a third of the way before cars started coming off. So I'm hoping I can get up there. So I guess they do let pedestrians on. There's just absolutely no signage. And I'm literally just walking up here with no shoulder whatsoever. This is the most interesting ferry experience I've had. I'm literally just walking next to cars to board. Just gonna fit between this minivan and this truck. Oh, is this the pedestrian walkway? That's like a foot wide. Okay. The Powhatan. Going up to the passenger deck. Let's go outside. Oh yeah. Goodbye, James City County. You got the car deck down there. No one's getting out though. They're all just staying in their cars. Like, it's too nice a day to not get out and walk around up deck. Oh, I love that style of lamp. That is wonderful. That and globe lamps. Those might have to be my two favorite kinds of lamps. But this is 29 down the line, not 29 examines lamps. As you can see, the onboard amenities for passengers are quite nice, considering it's only a 20-minute ferry ride. The larger ferries have indoor and outdoor upper decks, while the smaller ones only have a small indoor upper deck for passengers. You'll find restrooms on all of the ferries, but no elevators. Thankfully, there's often still plenty of space on the vehicle deck for pedestrians if stairs are an issue. The ferry is operated by the Virginia Department of Transportation, or VDOT, and is free to use for cars, cyclists, and pedestrians. In addition to having no fare, the ferry runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no decrease in frequency over the weekend. So if you really want to go for a ride in the 3 o'clock hour of the morning, you can. The fleet consists of 2 smaller ferries, the Williamsburg and the Surrey, and 2 larger ferries, the Pocahontas and the Powhatan. In all the times I've ridden this ferry, only 2 vessels have been operating at one time, but there is capacity for more. What's also interesting is this route's age. In just a few days, it'll be 100 years old, as it began operation on the 26th of February, 1925. This ferry has been here so long, it actually started by ferrying Model Ts across the river. And if you want more history, there are some neat informational signs on board in the indoor sections of the upper decks, detailing some more of the local history. I love this river. It's always nice to visit. It's a little narrower here than in Newport News. The next bridge downstream of us is the James River Bridge, which is US 17 and 258 over the James. And the next bridge upriver that way is not until you get almost to like the Richmond suburbs. So this is the only way for quite a while to cross the river. These sliding doors are really cool too. So the indoor cabin still provides pretty good views if you don't want to go outside. But I will head back down. I'll use the other staircase because we are pulling in to Scotland. I actually think I'm going to stay up top because people are getting in their cars, so I'll let them drive off and I'll just stay on board. There's their other two ferries, which they're not running today. So now that I'm on the Scotland side, let's talk a little more about this route's frequency and schedule. Both are pretty good. The ferry runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, with at least hourly frequency in the middle of the night. In the morning and evenings, ferries run between 20 and 25 minutes apart from each other. Currently, for most of the day, it's this 25-minute frequency that's maintained with 2 out of the 4 ferries in operation. And because only 2 ferries are used in this case, frequency could actually be increased quite a bit. There are at least 2 slips per ferry stop, so it is theoretically possible to run all 4 vessels in the fleet simultaneously. Finding crews for all 4 ferries, however, is a much more difficult task than finding enough to just run 2 ferries. Now I got people loading to go back, or to go to Jamestown in the first place. I'm probably the only one going back, other than a VDOT employee. In addition to being convenient to the touristy and historical destinations in Williamsburg and Jamestown, the Jamestown-Scotland Ferry serves as a vital connection to the rest of civilization for residents in Surrey County, south of the river. There really isn't too much on the Scotland side of the river, while the Jamestown side, specifically once you get closer to Williamsburg, has much more to offer in terms of commercial and tourist amenities. This is reflected in the bus network as well. WATA, the Williamsburg Area Transit Authority, operates the 6 bus between Williamsburg and Jamestown, which I rode in part 1 of this series, with connections to Amtrak and Hampton Roads Transit in Williamsburg. The Scotland side of the river, however, has no bus connections whatsoever, at least not anymore. There used to be a WATA bus route that ran between Jamestown and Surrey via the ferry, but this route sadly no longer exists. Back on the Jamestown side, in addition to a connection to the WATA 6, there is the Virginia Capitol Trail, a shared-use trail that runs from Jamestown to Richmond, great for walking, running, or biking. Just got a long walk down the pier. Thank you all so much for watching. I certainly enjoyed riding this ferry and would highly recommend it if you're in the area. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing, and there'll be some more content from this region of Virginia coming in the future, so stay tuned. Happy 100 years to the Jamestown-Scotland Ferry, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your week.